Do you know how many tons of plastic ends up in the ocean each year?
I believe if I was to guess how much plastic ends up in the ocean every year, I would say 43 and a half tons.
1 million tons.
Honestly, I'd say that about like 500 million tons of plastic end up in the world's oceans year round.
Do you know what the Marine Protection, Research and Sanctuaries Act is?
If I was to say what the Marine Protection, Research, and Sanctuaries Act was, I would guess that it is a organization that researches how to protect the ocean and stop ocean dumping.
I think that it limits the amount that companies can put into the ocean to help preserve the wildlife.
There was an act by Congress that was made not too long ago that protects the marine wildlife and tries to preserve the world's oceans and coral reefs.
Do you know what types of materials were dumped into the ocean before this act was put into place?
Before the act was put in place, the type of materials that were being dumped in the ocean were maybe like all sorts of cans and those things that hold the cans and then kill the fish, and maybe like oil, maybe, and also maybe like human waste, and also all sorts of other trash.
I'd have to guess things like radioactive materials.
Probably a lot of biohazardous materials and like chemical waste from nuclear plants and factories and such. And probably an excessive amount of plastics that couldn't be put anywhere else. But that's still happening, but it's probably been cut down since the act itself has occurred.
Why is it important to regulate ocean dumping?
I believe it's important to regulate ocean dumping because we need to think about the welfare of our environment and the ocean, and the fish are dying, people.
I'd say because things like biomagnification, where if you have a lot of animals in the ocean, like taking in the stuff that's being polluted into the ocean, it's eventually going to make its way up to humans and harm us as well. And also, a lot of animals are going to end up getting harmed and mess up the ecosystem and make it so we're losing a lot of essential species in the ocean.
How does ocean dumping affect humans?
So ocean dumping is bad for human health, probably because the fish are unhealthy, and eating unhealthy fish is bad for us.
I think it affects humans because if our animals are getting polluted with stuff like this, if you have a fish that's in the ocean that's getting affected by water pollution and you eat that fish, you're going to get the chemicals that are running through its body, and those chemicals cause things like cancer, and they're just really harmful to humans.
Do you care about ocean dumping?
I absolutely care about ocean dumping. I'm against it. I think that humans should preserve the world we live in. And I try to do my part, but I have a small part in that. And I think governments should further regulate the fishing industries and manufacturing, dumping into the oceans and all that googly woogly shit.
Yes, I care about ocean dumping because personally I do eat a lot of fish, and I don't want ocean dumping to affect my health because people don't care about the ocean and are just dumping things into it. Like, it's not just affecting the ocean life, it's affecting us as humans, and I think that it should be stopped.
I personally do care about ocean dumping. I care because we need to stop it, and it's bad for the environment, and it's killing our planet, and that's terrible.